I wanted to talk about bottom blowdown. Bottom blowdown is important for controlling sludge buildup in the bottom of the boiler. That sludge is formed naturally as you produce steam and the dissolved solids come out of solution and drop into the bottom of the boiler. It may also be the result of poor management of the water treatment, leading to corrosion or scale formation inside the boiler, or it may be coming from somewhere else in the system, for example, corrosion within your condensate return system. Left unchecked, that sludge will build up and eventually insulate the bottom of the furnace, and that then presents a potentially catastrophic situation where the furnace fails structurally. By opening the valve on the bottom of the boiler, we push some of the sludge down the drain and therefore prevent that dangerous situation occurring. When it comes to blowing the boiler down, it's important to open the valve quickly. This generates a shock wave that gets that sludge stirred up and moving in the bottom of the boiler and then onwards and down the drain. So it's important that we keep it short, around 5 to 8 seconds, so that we get that stirred up shock effect. And if we do find that we need to blow the boiler down more, that we blow it down more frequently rather than for longer each time. Bear in mind, if the blowdown valve is actuated and on a timer, that the time setting is from the point of energization. So if you've got 5 to 8 seconds programmed in, you're actually losing the first 1 to 2 seconds in the act of opening the valve itself. Since actuated valves often blow down when you're not present, it's important to check that they're working correctly as part of your usual walk around routine. Some systems have limit switches for proof of opening, proof of closure, and they will help detect and alert you to problems when they happen. But please check that they're wired. It's quite often we see limit switch boxes that are not wired in. If they are wired in, you could perhaps drop that frequency down to maybe monthly. Pipe work downstream of the boiler is subject to significant strain. Invariably cold pipe work will be subject to rapid pressurization and heat rise. The sludge is abrasive. Steam itself will tend to erode pipe work as well. So it's essential that the pipe work is of a heavy wall construction with long radius bends and it's welded throughout. Both site drains in a municipal sewer are not built for those kind of conditions, so you can't discharge direct to drain. You need some kind of intervening vessel. Now, older plant, you may have what we call a blowdown pit, which is a concrete tank, possibly underground outside somewhere. But their use has been discouraged now for a number of years. And it's much more likely that you'll use a metal vessel, a blowdown vessel these days. It's important to note there's actually an offence if you discharge to the municipal sewer above 43 degrees C. So we have to get that water cooled down to an acceptable level. And the way that these vessels work is to act to give you some time between blowdowns for the liquid to naturally cool down. The blowdown vessel will allow the flash steam to be flashed off, and what's left will then just cool down before the next blowdown happens. It's perfectly acceptable to have multiple boilers connected to the same blowdown vessel, provided it's sized or manifolded up correctly. And while we haven't discussed other forms of blowdown, such as TDS blowdown, gauge glass blowdown, and control valve blowdown, it's important that TDS blowdown and bottom blowdown run separately to the vessel. If you want to know more about boiler blowdown, there's a couple of documents that you might like to read, which are CEA guidance documents. So you've got BG04, which is on the subject of water treatment. It's not a chemistry book, so please don't be frightened of it. And it's a definite read for all engineers. And the other one will be BG03. BG03 looks at the mechanical side of blowdown. So it looks at pipe construction, how to size blowdown vessels, how to install them, and how to maintain them.